curse you editors of that montage for cutting away right before the money shot. As you can tell, this is a clip, a set of highlights that show the evolving relationship between Dong Gun's character Yang and Kate's character Lin. And just to give a little bit of backdrop around the character of Lin, she is, as we'll see later, somebody with a very tragic background, somebody who has suffered great loss in her at a young age, and is motivated first and foremost by vengeance to find a way to make peace in some small fashion with the tragedies she's suffered. And she's been seeking somebody to train her to use the blade to actually, again, carry out her goal. And into her life walks Yang. And so between the two of them is sort of a initially kind of apprentice-master relationship. It evolves into something more. And because they are so similar and yet so different, much of what goes on in the relationship plays out in the form of this, as you can see, sort of physical, I don't know, it's not quite fighting, not quite flirtation, a little both. So let's go there. Let's talk a little bit about Lin and what it was that Kate, you saw in this character and what you brought to it. Very clearly, this is a character that took a lot of doing in terms of walking that fine line between creating somebody that was bitter and full of anger and at the same time really appealing and spunky and redheaded.
Is this on? Oh, yes. Hello, everybody. Well, first and foremost, I fell in love with the script as a whole. It was a screenplay that was so unique. I'd never read anything like it. And when anything, comes before me like that, I'm excited to explore that. You're right, Lin has undergone a lot of tragedy in her life. But she has a real childlike quality to her. She's not someone who's kind of gone. She's very big, sort of, in her actions, and I wanted to maintain a sense of innocence about her, even though she does carry a lot of pain. I figured that she'd been raised in this, as you'll soon see, I'm sure, sort of abandoned Carney village and raised by Carney folk, and I figured that she really has, since she's an orphan. She's an orphan. I should tell you that. Sorry, it's weird because usually you've seen the film, so I'm trying to piece it together. She's an orphan, and so I imagine that she'd been raised by these Carney folk, and is kind of rough around the edges and a little crazy and feral, which was a lot of fun to do. Michael told me that someone said I was like I love this comment.
Yeah, like is it Woody's girlfriend?
In Toy Story.
In Toy Story, and it was like this great compliment. It was like, man, she's got as much energy as that girl. I dig her.
And I'm going to take that as a compliment. Yeah, well, she's feisty. She's a survivor. She's a wild desert woman. And I think she kind of begins a little bit more of a girl, like doesn't quite know how to handle herself, certainly doesn't have any refinement. And a bit boyish, and then as she meets this quiet, stoic, poised warrior, I think that there's a transformation in that they both have because of each other. And with my character, I feel that she's kind of quieted and calmed by him, and learned to be more still within oneself, and
so that shaking in the heart goes away, replaced with something else.
Yes. Right.
In terms of the chemistry, and I'm going to throw this out to both of you guys, was it challenging to create chemistry when there was, obviously, culture and language and a great deal of difference, both in terms of the characters on screen and even, obviously, both of you as actors? Dong Gun, perhaps first. How did you achieve that chemistry on screen?